India. It's a land rich in colour, heritage and culture. And recently it's emerged as a rising economic powerhouse. With India's rise, there's been a lot of wealth creation in the middle to upper classes. However, the poor have been left behind. India is the biggest democratic country in the world with more than 1.2 billion people. One of the more confusing mysteries of India is her caste system. The caste system has existed for more than 3,000 years and divides mankind into 4 different groups. However, there is one group of people who are not even in the system, which is the Dalits. The Dalits, also called untouchables, outcasts or slumdogs, comprise nearly 1/4 of India's society, with population estimates of over 300 million. The term Dalit means those who have been broken and ground down deliberately by those above them in the social hierarchy. There are different types of discrimination against the Dalits, including being forced to live in separate settlements, not being allowed to draw water from the village wells, prohibited from worshipping in Hindu temples, and often their children are denied education or made to sit in the back of the classroom. Dalits are subjected to rape, harassment, violence and even murder. Caste rules hold that Dalits pollute higher caste people with their presence. If higher caste Hindus touch an untouchable or even come within a Dalit shadow, they must undergo a rigorous series of cleansing rituals. At Light Society, we're giving hope and a better future to Dalit children and their communities through 4 main projects. Our initial project was Light Home. Now we have the tailoring project for women, an elderly daycare centre, and our largest project is the Light English Medium High School. Light Home started in 2006 with just 1 boy in a small room. Today we feed, educate and clothe 55 children. What started as a small vision has now grown successfully into a loving, large family. Some children come as true orphans, however many come due to the family's financial troubles. There are many sad stories, and it is our privilege to provide a safe haven for all the children that are put into our care. We strive to keep the Light Home like a large family. During the school holidays, families are encouraged to take the children back home. The children love to show their parents everything they have learnt. On top of meeting their everyday needs, we also provide extra tuition before and after school. The children are keen to learn and they know it is the key to their future. In India, an English medium education is considered to be a privilege of the elite. We know, given the opportunity to study in English, that Dalit children would become empowered and transformed intellectually. This has the potential to change not only individuals, but families, communities and society. Despite the fact that discrimination based on caste was outlawed by India's constitution in 1950, the practice of untouchability still dictates the order of modern life for millions here. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world." Dalits' lives will not be changed unless they are educated. It is a significant tool for full development and empowerment of the poor and the marginalised. In June 2012, we started Light English Medium School. We now have 228 children in the school, from kindergarten to year 10. Everything is taught in English. They are taught the values of freedom, equality, human dignity, along with the skills needed to become financially independent. Children who were previously destined to menial labour-based jobs now have the opportunity to enter a career which will change their economic situation for generations.
I want to become a police.
I want to become a collector. I want to become a software engineer. I want to become a doctor.
Women have always been marginalised and downgraded in Indian society. Many women do not complete their education due to early marriage or their family financial restrictions. Lack of education restricts a woman's job opportunities and leads to a lack of confidence. Most young women in rural areas end up working as seasonal agricultural workers. The work is hard and the pay is poor. It is a difficult life for most, but especially hard for women who have to care for children as well. Light Society offers a 6-month training course for Dalit women to eliminate poverty and to provide them with regular income to care for their families. In the course, they learn how to sew, embroider and knit. After the successful completion of the course, they receive a pedal sewing machine for free. So far, we have trained 480 women and all have machines. Not only have they become skilled, but we also encourage them to speak up and teach them basic business skills. Today, all the women are using their skills to support their families. Instead of relying on seasonal work, they can now work all year long in hours that suit them. It is our dream to take this work further and teach women who have missed out on their education how to read and write. There are 81 million elderly people in India. As the younger generation leave the rural areas in search of better opportunities, the elderly are left behind to defend for themselves. With very little financial support from the government, many old people go hungry. Of those that are taken by the family, 40% report they face some kind of abuse of one kind or another. Many elderly are forced to sell their homes to give money to the children. Our feeding project provides 2 hot meals a day to 23 elderly people and a new set of clothes once a year for Christmas. Not only is this meeting physical needs, but it has become a meeting place to talk and share with one another. If someone doesn't show up for a meal, they immediately know something is wrong and attend to their needs. It has made a huge difference in the lives of the elderly. Now they come every day with smiles on their faces. The solution to India's poverty is not a simple one, and at times it can be overwhelming. This can't be an excuse not to try. With your help, Light Society has brought about a positive change in hundreds of lives. Children are being cared for, women and families uplifted, the elderly are honoured and given the respect they deserve, and the next generation of leaders are being raised. We want our children to be actively involved in this country's decision-making and ready to face tomorrow's challenges. Thank you for working with us.